happen to be new here, my name is Jess. I am bringing you once again a book review. It has kind of been a mental health month for me. I have been reading a lot of mental health books, things like that, and I wanted to share a book that I absolutely loved. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, and it would be Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I adored this book. This book was actually sent to me by my friend Sam, and the first part of this video will be a little bit non-spoilery, and then the second part of the video will be spoilery, so stick around for that. I will let you know when it changes from one to the other, but I adored this book. This book was not at all what I thought it was going to be, and it was the book that I didn't know that I needed the most this month. This book follows our main character, Eliza. She does suffer from very, very heavy anxiety. She's the author of a webcomic, and I think that's super cool. I think that part of the reason why I love this book so much is just because of the story with her and her writing her webcomic. She's obviously a high school character, and she does not interact with her peers at all. People kind of fear her in a way, and I really found that relatable. Now, I was kind of like a social butterfly in high school, but I did obviously have like the fear of speaking to people. I was not able to like do like big papers and things like that in front of the class, like big presentations and things like that. So I found that very relatable. People, like I said, kind of fear her, but the kicker for this is everyone in her town and pretty much millions of people read her webcomic, but no one knows who she is until one day a boy actually joins her school, like moves to her school, and she finds out that he is actually a fan fiction writer for the comic that she writes, and they sort of start interacting with each other, and she kind of has this internal dilemma about whether or not to tell him, because keeping her anonymity is very, very important to her. As somebody who suffers from anxiety, I think that this story is a very good representation for that. The way that Francesca describes Eliza's panic attacks or anxiety and things like that was very, very true. I do not know off the top of my head if this is own voices or not. I don't know if Francesca suffers from that, but I still think it is a very good representation, and if you are somebody who has somebody in your family who suffers from anxiety, or you suffer from anxiety, I think that you will really, really appreciate this book. I did give this book 5 out of 5 stars. However, the only thing that I didn't particularly enjoy in this story is Eliza's interactions and relationship with Wallace. I thought that Wallace was kind of a problematic character at times, but I do like his backstory with his family. He does come from a bit of a troubled past, and I thought that was also very relatable for a lot of different people. So like I said, if you're looking for a book that has anxiety representation, and you're looking for just kind of like a lighthearted read, because this is contemporary, but it is more of a heavy contemporary. It was still a very quick read for me, but it was still very, very enjoyable. So if you're looking for a book like that, I would definitely recommend this book. Now we're going to get into a little bit with the spoilery portion of this video, so if you have not read this book, I would go ahead and click out now while you can. But getting into why I loved this book so much, I absolutely adored the way that Francesca was able to write, obviously, anxiety into her novel and make it a little bit more relatable, but also I thought it was really, really great, like, seeing Eliza's actual struggles with life, like her inability to speak to her classmates, her inability to tell Wallace that she is Lady Constellation, that she is the author of this comic. One of my favorite parts in the book is actually, sadly, when her parents blow her anonymity. They do write in to her school like newspaper, because she's graduating from high school, and they can write like little blurbs about their children, and they do blow that she is Lady Constellation because they're trying to love and support her, and I do appreciate her parents doing that, and that is why that is one of my favorite parts in the book, because they do blow her anonymity, but they're just trying to love her in the best way that they can. And as somebody who suffers from anxiety and a lot of mental disorders, I know that my parents probably struggled with all of those things, so I definitely appreciated the book for that reason as well. The only thing that I really had trouble with, as I spoke about a little bit before, is Wallace. Wallace does come from a very broken background. His father actually he killed himself, so Wallace is really just trying to do things that make him happy in life, and while I think that that is admirable, once Eliza's parents actually blow her anonymity, he does kind of use her and is like, I need you to finish the comic, and when she is struggling so hard with being able to just continue life in general, and you know, he can see that she's struggling, but he just keeps pressuring her, like, I need you to finish it, I need you to finish it, because he does receive a deal with a publishing company to actually have his fan fiction based on this novel turned into something, and instead of just getting her permission, she has to actually finish the comic first so that he can, you know, elaborate on it. So to be able to get his deal and publish his book, he has to have that from her. Now he does kind of turn into an asshole. He is like ignoring her and things like that, just constantly pressuring her to do this thing that he is asking her to do to finish it when she is so incredibly unable to do it. And I just, like, for me, like, reading that, it was just too much at points. It really upset me. I liked Wallace up until that point, and I understand that he is from a broken background. He does live with like his stepmom, she has custody of him, things like that, but For me, it was just too much. Like, I understand that you want to have a better life, you want to carry on in your father's footsteps doing something that you absolutely love like your father did, but for me, it was just a little too much to read about him just being absolutely cruel and awful to her just to get what he wanted, and it wasn't the character that I had seen and like read about for the rest of the book, so to see him kind of do a 180 at that point was a bit too much. At one point in the book, Eliza does contemplate suicide. She is sitting on the edge of the road where his father is actually, that's where his father killed himself. He drove off of the curb. I can't remember what the road is called, but she's sitting there and he finds her and he loses it. And the other thing that I didn't really enjoy about this book is the ending of the book. Now, Eliza realistically is still struggling with anxiety. She's trying to maintain, just being able to do what she's able to do, and her parents are very supportive. Her brothers are very supportive. Her brothers are probably my most favorite characters out of this entire book. They're quite shitheads in the beginning, but they become absolutely wonderful at the end. It was a little weird to see her want to try to repair things with him. It is very casual. The way the book ends is just sort of him playing sports with her family. Everybody's out playing sports, and she kind of walks up to him and, they hug her, whatever, and then he kisses her, I think, like on the forehead or something like that. And for me, as somebody who struggles from anxiety, if somebody in my life was like, okay, I need you to do this, I don't care how much you're struggling, I need you to do it, and they were such an asshole about it, I don't think that I would give them another chance. But despite all that, I still really enjoyed this book because that part of Wallace that I didn't enjoy was obviously very, very later on in the book. I did like the ending. I thought the ending was very realistic. And like I said, I did give it 5 out of 5 stars. And I would recommend it if you're looking for a little bit more information on anxiety. Like I said, I don't know if this is own voices or not. I don't know if Francesca suffers from that, but I still thought it was a good representation for someone who does struggle with anxiety. So if you're looking for a book like that, I would definitely check this book out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm trying to do a little bit more book reviews on my channel. It is quite hard sometimes, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm not very good at, like I said, giving factual reasons why I don't like a book. I tend to remember how a book made me feel, but I can't necessarily come on here and just be like, this book made me very happy, so that's why I liked it. So I hope you guys like my views on things, and I hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!